Hello and good afternoon and welcome back. I am Julie Horton. I am a physical therapist with Big Blue Canopy in Blue Ash, Ohio, and I'm here again today with my two great helpers, Jack and Lily. They are going to help me out again today, and we're going to work through some things, some exercises you can do when maybe you're sitting all day doing your work at home or your schoolwork at home. Maybe you're feeling a little bit tired, maybe your brain's feeling a little bit foggy, or you're just needing a little bit of a chance to regroup and refresh and then come back to your work. The exercises we're going to work through are actually coming from a program called Brain Gym, and then some of the stretches and stuff that we're going to be doing are mostly yoga based, but they're going to be modified in different ways. Just exercises and stretches that you can do to kind of refresh your body, stretch out your back, stretch out your necks, and then be able to regroup and come back to your work. All right, so we're going to start off with, first is some of the Brain Gym. I'm going to grab this book over here, just going to show you. I have the Brain Gym Teacher's Edition book. I really like this book, so any of you now new homeschool teachers or teachers at home, when you go back to the classroom, if you're wanting to look for some great brain break activities to do during the day, the activities in here are kind of organized by what they might help with. So if they work with memory, if they work with visual skills, if they work with math skills, reading skills, writing skills, whatever it might be, these are fantastic and I highly recommend it. It's the Brain Gym Teacher's Edition by Paul and Gail Dennison. And what we're going to start off with first is one that I really like as a physical therapist. I really like cross crawls. Cross crawls is a bilateral coordination movement. It's working on contralateral sides of your body, so you're working right to left or left to right, and you're going to be working on concentration. You're going to be working on the two sides of your brains working together. You're going to be working on that coordination piece. You could be working on balance. You could be working on a lot of different things. So Lily and Jack are going to be my demonstrators, and we're going to start off with the basic cross crawl. So basic cross crawl is actually elbow to knee. We're going to go at a nice slow pace to start with, and you're going to bring your elbow to your knee, and you're crossing midline, so you're going opposites. Good. And we might start off really slow and controlled. Make sure you have the coordination down. Actually, sometimes slowing the movement down might make it a little bit more challenged to your balance. And you could go like super slow motion and see if you can work on your single leg balance. Good job, guys. Good, or you could speed it up a little bit too if you want to. Good. You can have fun with this. You can have music on in the background, kind of make it like a dance. You can be goofy like Jack is. All right, go ahead and stop. If that movement by itself is too hard for you, you may want to break it down a little bit. Maybe if you can't quite reach elbow all the way to knee, is maybe just bringing hand to knee. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that. So just hand to knee. Good. Good. That looks great. That's still a little bit too hard, so we can go ahead and use the green, and Jack's going to use the orange cube. Is you can try it sitting. So if your balance is an issue for you, you can try in a chair, or maybe you're in the office, you want to get a little movement in, maybe you don't have a space to quite get up and do this, you can do this at your seat. All right, let's go ahead and try elbow to knee in a sitting position. Good. Again, if elbow's too hard, just try your hands. So maybe you can't quite reach as far or get your knee quite as high. You're still doing the same movement, working both sides of your body, working that contralateral movement, the bilateral coordination. Great job, guys. Good. If you want a little more challenge, we can actually add in some core work with it as well. So one of the activities I like to do, it's a cross crawl sit-up, and they're both going to demonstrate this. All right, so it's the same basic idea, but you're trying to kind of work on that sit-up. So you're bringing your elbow to your knee. Good. And crossing the body. Good, guys. So you're getting a nice core workout as well. Core muscles are important for us to be able to sit and maintain that nice sitting posture throughout our day. Core is important for our handwriting skills. Of course, it's important for our sport skills too. Good. Good job, guys. All right, go ahead and stop. All right, thank you. That was excellent demonstration. All right, one of my next favorite ones is the lazy 8. So a lazy 8, I guess, is just a tired 8 and it's laying on its side, or it's an infinity symbol. And one of the things that this works on is going across midline. It's also working on visual skills, it's working on handwriting skills, a lot of different things, a lot of concentration with it. It's a really great exercise, and there's lots of different ways that you can use lazy 8. Lily is first going to demonstrate lazy 8 here on the whiteboard. All right, if you can start, on the top left and come across. You could certainly work on a big lazy 8. You could try this on a smaller piece of paper and do this with a small piece of paper as well. If you want to get a little more balance with it, Lily could be up on her tall knees, so in tall kneeling, and really try to work on maybe some more balance, weight shifting side to side. Good. You can go ahead and stop. All right, Jack, come on up over here. And Jack's going to demonstrate another way to do lazy 8s. So come on over, buddy. All right, so another way to do it is just take your hand, thumb, finger, however you want to do it, and just draw a lazy 8 with your hand. So go ahead and face this way so they can see you. Okay. If it's a little more challenging, you could maybe close your eyes and try and see if you can keep doing it. And keep the movement. All right, another way to do it, go ahead and open your eyes again, rest your arm. Shake it out so you're getting tired. All right, another way to do it is to try to really work on that hand-eye coordination and trying to work on those visual skills, is to follow your thumb. So Lily and Jack and I, we're all gonna do this together, and we're just gonna, your head can move, and we're gonna follow where your thumb goes. Again, if this is too hard, you can do a smaller one. Good. A little extra challenge. This makes your eyes get a little bit wonky. It looks a little funny. Can you keep your head still and just let your eyes follow? So we're working on the scanning. So you think about when you read you read left to right, or when you're writing, you go left to right. So if you can follow with just your eyes and not move your head. I know it looks a little funny when I do it, but it's a little bit of a different challenge. Good. Arm getting tired? You're doing great. Okay, so those are some of the ways to do lazy 8. Next one I like to do, this is also from the Brain Gym group, is the elephant. So elephant is still using the lazy 8, but we're going to get a little bit more body movement in it, and we're going to get a little bit more weight shifting with it, and it's a little bit silly and fun. So the kids are going to go ahead and glue their cheek up by their shoulder and keep their arm attached, and they're going to trace the lazy 8, and you're thinking about looking out past your fingers and not trying to go super fast. You're going at a nice pace. They're working on some nice weight shifting from left to right. They're getting their whole body moving, their whole body engaged. All right, go ahead and stop for a second. If you're having someone that's having a hard time picturing the 8 and they need a little bit of reference, have you face this way. You could take their big lazy 8 or maybe another one that you have taped on the wall, and they can use that for reference. Just give yourself a little bit of space apart from each other. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So you would do this on both sides. Let's go ahead and do left arm. Yep. And look at the picture and try to imagine that you're tracing the lazy 8 that's on the board. Good. Now with any of these, if the standing balance is too hard, you can certainly do these sitting in a chair. It's going to still be working on that hand-eye coordination, those visual skills. Maybe not getting quite the whole body going as much, but if the standing is a little bit too challenging, you can certainly do this sitting as well. All right. Up next is we're going to go through some different stretches and some yoga. The kids and I demonstrated this week our back bends. And some of you said maybe you can't quite start with a full back bend yet, but we were demonstrating that for a friend that asked for it and requested it. So we wanted to go ahead and show her our back bend. But we're going to show you some stretches that are great to do if you've been sitting all day. You can modify these in a lot of certain ways. We're going to try and show you a couple of those modifications today. Certainly at any point, if you need ideas or suggestions, a way to modify these, if you're having a hard time with any of these exercises at home, please go ahead and reach out to us, and we'll be happy to kind of go through maybe some different ways to modify these at home. A lot of the stretches and exercises I do with the kids are yoga based, and I have a couple ones that I love to use in clinic, and sometimes I use them at home for fun. My favorite one is yoga pretzels. They are really fun cards. They've got all sorts of stuff. They have ones that focus on breathing. They have ones that focus on strengthening and stretching. These are really fun, and I use these a lot of time in session with my kids. You could certainly use these in the classroom or at home. I got these years ago, I think at Barnes & Noble. I'm sure they're still available through them, or maybe Amazon even. But again, it's yoga pretzels. These ones are really great. I love them. Another one I have is the Kids Yoga Deck. Can't remember where I got this one, but it has some similar poses and suggestions on here that are really great. On Thursday when we come back, we're actually going to do some more from there. The ones we're doing today are more stretches. What we're going to do on Thursday is going to be a little bit more strengthening and postural control and holding those balance positions while also lengthening the body. Another fun one I like to do is, actually I got this from Five Below. This one's pretty awesome. It's like this really cool cube. Not a cube. I don't know what you'd call this. Dice. It's got lots of different sides on it, and it has different postures and poses on it. These are really fun, so you could just roll it and then have the kids do whatever comes up. So whether it's downward facing dog or triangle pose, this is really a fun one to add in and kind of make it a game as well. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is prone position. Prone position is laying on your stomach. So both of the kids are gonna lay down on their mats. And if you don't have the flexibility, go ahead and lay flat first. If you don't have the flexibility, if your back is really stiff, just laying down in this nice flat position to start with, it's really good. You're still kind of getting out of that chair position that you've been in all day. So it's a nice way to just kind of get that extension, start to get that extension through here and in your thoracic spine. If you can get a little bit more, but maybe not quite fully into like a cobra pose, you might be able to take like a pillow and put it underneath you here, and maybe just prop yourself up here. I love this position, and I usually ask my kids at home, and I do this myself. If I've been sitting for a while and my neck is starting to get sore, maybe my back is starting to get sore, I use this position to watch TV, read a book. This is a great way to just kind of get out of your sitting all day and change it up a little bit. And it's a nice resting position. You can stay here for a long time. If you want to get into a little more of a stretch, you can go, I'm going to lose the pillows, and go into more of a stretch that might be just prone up on your elbows. And you can kind of change where your elbows are based on how much range of motion you have in here. So you can go a little higher, you can bring them out a little in front of you a little bit more. Maybe not as much of a stretch that way, okay? And then the next one is like full prone extension or cobra pose. So cobra pose, relax your shoulders. Good, you have your hands out in front of you a little bit. Try not to hyperextend those elbows, Jack. Can you bring them out in front of you a little bit more? There you go. Jack has a lot of flexibility. All right, your hands out in front of you a little bit more. All right, so you're working more in here. Relax your shoulders, and you're looking up, not at the ceiling, but at the wall. Okay, good job, guys. Now this is a position that you wouldn't rest in. This would be a position that you're holding the stretch, and maybe you're holding it for about maybe, if you go with like yoga, it's normally breath cycles. I usually like 5 breath cycles. It's around 20 seconds. So you're working on breathing in, and then back out. Good job, guys. And after you've held that, you can go ahead and come back down to your resting position, wherever that might be. And then you can repeat it a few times. Okay, good job, guys. Next one is we're going to come up onto hands and knees. So a couple things with hands and knees. You want knees underneath your hips and hands underneath your shoulders, making sure fingers are pointing this way. Both of my kids have some hyper flexibility in their joints, so I have to kind of remind them not to hang out on their end range of their joints. So sometimes you'll hear me say, don't hyperextend your elbows, and making sure they have their fingers pointing this way. All right, cat-cow goes from the cat position, which is looking up, you're pulling your belly up, and you're getting your gaze down towards your belly button. And you're gonna hold for about, really think about arching up, holding for about 5 seconds, and slowly moving down so your belly's gonna sag, and you're looking up towards the wall. Again, holding for about 5 seconds. Remembering to breathe. We're never holding our breath in any of these stretches. And then back again. Good. Okay, one more time up into cow. Good. And then we're going to come back into child's pose. Child's pose, you're going to bring your body back from that hands and knees position. You're resting your bottom back on your heels. You'll see Lily spread her knees a little bit further apart and allow herself to kind of get deeper into that position. Depending on your body, you may keep your knees tucked under like Jack has them, or you may spread them out a little bit further like Lily does, just to kind of get into that stretch. This is a great stretch. Heads down. Yep, rest your forehead on the ground. Really stretches out your shoulders and your back and your hips. Good job, guys. All right, go ahead and come back up for a second. Good. Okay. So, one more. Not all the way up. Let's go back in hands and knees. We have one more yoga pose that we're going to go through today, and then we're going to show you some modifications for this one. This one is downward dog. So you tuck toes underneath from the hands and knee position, and you come up. The goal is to kind of have your body in a triangle. Okay? If you can, try to get your heels flat on the ground. Here. Good. And we're going to hold. Again, let's go with like a breath cycle. This one's a hard position to hold. While you're stretching, you're also doing a lot of strengthening too to maintain this position. So you may not be able to do a full 5 breath cycles. Maybe you'll do 2 or 3 breath cycles. Go ahead and come down and rest. And you should probably repeat these, 2 or 3 times, depending on how long you're holding for them, just to kind of get the benefit of it. 1 time is really not enough. You need to do them a couple times. Okay, so a couple ways to modify downward dog, because that one is a hard position for a lot of people. In yoga, you may see people use these like blocks. Most of you won't have a block at home, so we're just going to show you ways that you could use furniture at home. Lily's going to show on the chair over here, and Jack's going to come on this side, show on downward dog. Here, so maybe you can't quite reach the ground. Bring your feet in a little bit closer, and you're really trying to extend out this way. Good. So you're still getting some of the position. Try to keep your back flat. Come back. Good. Okay. So there's different ways to modify any of these exercises at home. Good. Jack's going to demonstrate real quickly here. We don't have a desk set up in here right now, but we're just going to pretend this is a desk at home. So if you are at home, at your kitchen table, or you're at the office, whatever your office might look like right now. For us, it's a hodgepodge of bedrooms and furniture moved everywhere. But if you are at your desk, this is a great activity to do at any time, not just quarantine time. We are going to push our chair back from the desk a little bit. We're going to pretend this is his desk right here in front of him. And we're just going to bring arms out in front of us. And we're just going to do that nice stretch here. Kind of get a stretch for our low back and our shoulders. Rest our neck a little bit. There's a lot of strain in our neck. We're on computers all day. Good, and then we're going to do a modification of Cobra. So your hands are here, and you arch up. And stretch here in the back. Good. Maybe you are able to stand up for a second, which would be great. It's good to stretch. You put your hands on your hips. Maybe not go back quite as much as Jack goes back. All right, maybe hands up and reach back a little bit and stretch. Good job. Those are awesome, guys. Good job. All right, so those are just some different stretches you can do throughout the day, kind of counteract that position we've been in all day. If you're getting tired, you're getting foggy, if something's getting sore, go ahead and stand up, find a place, stretch out a little bit, maybe get your body moving a little bit, do a little bit of those brain gym exercises, or maybe the exercises we went over last week, jumping jacks, crab crawls, bear crawls, any of the stuff that we talked about last week, Katie talked about last week as well, and kind of incorporate those into your day, and it'll really help. Is there anything you guys want to add? Okay. Well, oh yeah, that's right. Who do we want to say happy birthday to?
Happy birthday, my cousin Beth.
That's right. So my niece Beth in Texas is celebrating her birthday, and we just want to wish her a happy birthday, and we love her and we miss her. And we say hi to our friends and family. Hi to all our friends and family. We hope everyone is well and safe. We are back again tomorrow, live at noon on Big Blue Canopy. Miss Patty's back again with some more great ideas. The kids and I will be back on Thursday bringing you more suggestions for things to do at home. If you have any questions, any suggestions of things you would like to see at home, please reach out to us. And that's it for today. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.